There are moments in all of our lives that are defining. There's no doubt about that. Rick Grahovac's life in art therapy was born in one of those moments.
My father died when I was 21. I was in art school at the time. 6 weeks later, his mother, my grandmother, died. Was actually driving to her funeral on my father's 50th birthday. And then 6 weeks after that, about a month after that, one of my brother-in-laws came to stay with us. Stayed with us for about 2 weeks, left our house on Sunday and committed suicide on Wednesday. So I had 3 really significant people in my life die in 12 weeks, in a 12-week time span. And I was in art school at the time. So in all of my classes, I had assignments, right? So in my painting class, I had to do a still life, and in my illustration class, I had to do a magazine cover for Time magazine, and right. So I had all of these assignments, but I couldn't do them. I could not work on any of those things. But I was pouring out art. So really, that was my introduction to art therapy. Was my own personal experience of doing art as a way to express everything that I was going through, all the grief that I was going through, and I really feel like it saved me.
There's a room in Rick's house where he goes when he needs inspiration, relaxation, or peace from the frantic pace. He paints, he plays his music, he plays it loud. His mind goes someplace else.
Art takes me really inward, I guess. You know, it's a way to express all the things that are hard to put into words. If I'm working on a painting or a piece of art, everything falls away, everything.
What if it doesn't? What if you're dying and it won't go away? Rick's first job was as an art therapist at New Life Hospice. His first patient was a man very close to his own age.
And he was dying from a brain tumor. And I would go and sit with him once a week. And when I would go there, he would shut off the TV or the radio or anything that was on, and we would just sit and he would talk to me for 3 or 4 hours straight about facing the end of his life. You learn a lot about what matters, or what matters to you in your life when you're working with people who are facing the end of their lives. So it teaches you a lot about living life and how you want to live your life.
Life. You never know how it'll change, or who will change it for you.
My art teachers there were very significant in my life because when I was in high school, especially the beginning of high school, I wasn't in a great place. And my art teachers really believed in me, and I ended up getting a scholarship and going off to art school.
Rick recognized that impact and never forgot about it. Over time, the focus of his work and strategies has centered on children, teens, and young adults.
I believe that if we're helping people, especially kids, learn some of these things about themselves now, that it will prevent them from making decisions that lead them down a path to get into some trouble later. A lot of times when a child is acting out or there's some behavior issues or something, it's because of other things that are going on in their world, and that's the way it's coming out. And if we just focus on the end behavior, we're kind of missing it.
Which brings us to Rick's work as the director of Common Ground.
Common Ground is really about a number of things. Helping people learn about and connect with themselves, I think, is a big core component of it. And then using that information to build relationships, set goals, try and live more of the life that you want to be living and less of the one that you don't.
To play the edge, I told Rick his hope of Common Ground was a bunch of chatter. It asked if there was really any substance there, substance here with what he does.
If you start talking about things like personal development and personal growth and reaching goals and things like that, that sounds kind of fluff. You know, it kind of sounds like icing on the cake. I would argue the opposite, that it is core, fundamental stuff that is the building blocks of our life. So if we choose, we can kind of just float through life and just kind of go with what's happening and experience things as they come. Or we can try and have some kind of purposeful approach to our life. And that, to me, comes from that core fundamental stuff.
It was Rick's mom and dad who got him started in art. They recognized in their little boy the draw to it, and they encouraged him. He'll tell you today his art goes through many stages, changes, and the finished product is much different than the start. But the inspiration is constant, like his life's work.
It feels like a natural part of my life now, that I can't work somewhere where there's not a sense of purpose or a sense of doing something that will hopefully be benefiting somebody else's growth or well-being.
Rick Grahovac, a Leadership Lorain County Excellence in Leadership honoree.